communist brainwashing is a very strong type of brainwashing, and it's not something that you could just easily figure out if you're a midwit.
You know,
I think we did it.
Rowan, I get that, but so does Josh Clark. And as Josh Clark pointed out, he wears flannel shirts, he drives a Subaru, and he likes women. So you're just confirming that that's the stereotype. So.
We went live.
If you are here coming in live from YouTube, it is now live. I have it open on my other browser, and holy cow, we got. I don't. Did it say what that was from?
No. Oh wait, you mean the community guideline strike? It was from a really old episode. It was like episode 69 or something like that, like an old episode.
Which reminds me, I'm only 500 followers away from 69,000. So
69,000. You know I know. I saw that joke.
That's pretty amazing. I love
Everybody needs to go out and make a fake account and then follow me. No.
Well, we appreciate all you who came over onto Rumble. There are now 15 of you watching over on YouTube, so it's very nice.
I want to point something out. Speaking of YouTube, earlier in the day, before the shooting happened, hold on, my thing auto started playing the video and I didn't want it to. Black Flag Civilian, the Antifa affiliated account we've told you guys to watch before, put out a video the morning of the shooting, before the shooting had happened, saying that you're already in an SHTF situation, stealing my line, you're already in the collapse, and telling people that it's time to arm up and resist. And then the shooting happens that was fully recorded by several different leftists. It just, to me, feels like this is something they've wanted to happen for a long time, because it then enables them to chimp out. So,
well, I mean, so the 2020 riots were before I had met you gents, but I'm sure that we were all thinking similar things back then. But as I was trying to point out to people at the time, what happened with George Floyd was just literally they were rolling from incident to incident that whole summer. Anybody got a boo-boo from cops, there were suddenly riots and protests and chimping out about it, until they found one that they could spin in such a way that it was sympathetic enough that it caught everybody as a story. And that's how we ended up with George Floyd. And if it wouldn't have been George Floyd, it would have been the one that happened the week after, or the one that happened the week after, or the one that happened the week after, because law enforcement is messy. And if you decide that you're going to point at and highlight and find an example of something to be pissed off at, it's not hard to do.
Sorry, just going back to the Maduro, before we go into this next one, because I think this is an important piece of video for us to play. Before we do that, I want to go back to the Venezuela Maduro stuff. If you could pull the Polymarket link I just put in the chat up.
While he's doing that, we thank our gracious and benevolent overlords at YouTube.
Yes, thank you.
I thought this was really funny. Venezuelans who fled to America are sending Maduro prison mail, trolling their former dictator with memes. And by the way, if you too want to send Maduro something, here is his address. Not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm just saying,
As long as we're still on this, I do have to say I heard an interesting meme that I thought was pretty funny. I don't think this is a thing that should happen, but somebody said, Donald Trump should send Barron down to rule over the oil nation. Oil Baron.
Joe, I saw that you liked this one as well. I thought the one about Barron that was the most apt was the one. The easy way to handle the Denmark problem is just to have him go marry the princess of Denmark,
Isabella.
And then Greenland becomes his by default,
by the dowry. Yeah,
that's right.
Tasteful meme, by the way,
prompted Burlingame to go on a nine tweet thread explaining to me why that fulfills destiny or something.
Lance Corporal Veteran for $1 says the left has their martyr, and not by accident. This was intended play all along and will be exploited. Yeah, but here's the thing: that the irony is that she didn't volunteer to become a martyr, right? She thought she was like. She just thought she was like, like none of these leftists, these fucking leftists, they get iced.
Whoa!
Her overlords
$20
were
on YouTube.
content to let her become one.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, no, 100%, Joe. This is part of the communist kind of playbook. It's like we brainwash all these midwits, and eventually one of them will get themselves killed, and we'll be able to hoist that person up as some sort of paragon. Jelexon2 says thoughts. If you own nothing, there is no need for the Constitution. The Constitution protects person and property. Hence, all the dehumanizing. Just to data points and the efforts to try to take away property.
Facts.
No, I think you're onto something there.
So that reminds me. Somebody said when there was a comment made by JD Vance that they're going to go door to door looking for immigrants. And I was like, I got to pump the brakes on this right there. That's not how we do things, and we don't need to be cheering that on. We still have Fourth Amendment rights and all that. And somebody commented, and this is a very common thing on the right. Commented that the Constitution allowed all of this to happen. So why do you care so much about it? That is false, and it's not true. The Constitution doesn't allow any of it. We have allowed it by not holding people accountable to the Constitution through voting, through demanding they actually count our votes the way they were cast, demanding that they not do mail-in voting, demanding that they do voter ID. That's on us. That's not on the Constitution. The Constitution is well written. We just don't follow it anymore, and no one has held them accountable for that.
People need to realize that the Constitution is not some sort of magic paper shield that magically makes all of your rights come into being. Rights are an exercise of power. They require you to wield that power in order to sustain them. Basically, the Constitution could be better looked at as a contract between the people of the nation. If you do this, you will get this, is basically what the Constitution is.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to this video here. This is a good one. This guy basically he is explaining to all you in the cheap seats who haven't figured out why it's not okay to do what this Karen did with her vehicle.
Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are.
I'll take that a step further. What would you do, Scott, if you were driving down the road in suburban America and these cars suddenly box you in on a street? You'd probably fight your way out, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Correct.
And police officers have just the same ability to do that as you. And no matter what every YouTube lawyer or Twitter lawyer told me the other day, ICE agents are accredited 1811 criminal investigators under federal law, and they have arrest authority. So, yes, even if you're an American citizen.
Yeah. My favorite part of that too is the other examples of other law enforcement officers that supposedly don't have the ability to arrest people, like park rangers. Guys, don't try this. All right, it should be good. Oh, damn it! Are you kidding me? Sorry, give me a second.
To change the electorate and political landscape of Salt Lake City is the answer to your question.
What, Joe? I think I can't remember if it was that post that you were just referring to, or if it was a different one. But I think it was you or a thread that you were involved in, where basically they have the ability to not only handle things within their area, but any kind of investigation that stems from an interaction that the public has from them, they could basically become the lead federal agency.
Yeah. So like the example I use is a postal inspector, right? His job is to inspect crimes related to the postal service. If, however, you are selling drugs directly in front of him, he can arrest you. If you punch him, he can arrest you. If you punch someone else in his presence, he can arrest you. It's just basic arrest authority, right?
Yeah.
By the way, they also all have citizens arrest authority for any crime, just like you do. It's just crazy that people think that they can't be arrested because it's immigration. You can. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this one more time.
The law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force.
And you will be treated as such.
Exactly right. And here's the thing, right? That law enforcement officer is not psychic. He has no idea what is in your head, whether it's an accident or whether it's intentional or what. All he knows is the action that's occurring to him. And he has just, I mean, Joe, you saw how quick that happened. It went from 0 to 60 in about like half a second.
So that's it.
So
and all the experts on Twitter telling you, well, look at this angle and that angle. The officer didn't have those angles available. He had a vehicle accelerating directly at him, and he had about half of a second to decide whether to live or die. And they all say, well, he should have just got out of the way. There's no guarantee that if he got out of the way, she wouldn't have changed direction and came at him again. So
you have to end the threat. It's like you address the threat and then you move.
By the way,
you move on to the
say
next step.
He did a cool forward roll and jumped out of the way, and she tore off down the street and hit 2 kids waiting for a school bus. Who are they going to blame that on? Not her. They're going to blame it on the ICE agent for not stopping it. During the Honda Pilot Challenge. Well done. Well done.
Hey, by the way, Joe, I got a new clip of Maloney talking. Just so you know, that's in the offing. It's coming. I could just listen to that lady talk all day long. All right. So then we've got this fucking chode who is basically telling you his plan.
Dear ICE, here's a message from your friendly neighborhood leftist. Not all of us are going to stop at snowballs in the future. So maybe think twice before you just start randomly shooting into vehicles.
Look at the flinch on this guy. And those splits, Joe, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's some.
And he's got to be at what? All of 25 yards because it's an indoor range? Yeah.
Right.
And some of us aren't just going to fucking randomly fire into things. Some of us actually know how to aim. So you don't have to take.
Hey, you know what? I'm actually fucking done with this shit. They drug an old man out of his house for far less than this and executed him in his driveway.
Yeah.
Kick it off.
100%. Or an airport manager who they kicked in his door at 4 a.m. for way less than this. I would actually challenge this. I would like to see the actual target, and I'd like to compare those holes with the diameter of a pencil, because I'm pretty sure he didn't shoot those. So.
Well, the sad thing is, Joe, let's give him absolutely the benefit of the doubt that he was using the equipment he showed, and that is his target. We saw the range. It's no more than what, a 50-foot range.
Yeah.
So that's 25 meters, maybe max. Is the distance? He
Why
had
did
a
it
what?
take
A
you so
6 power
long to get a
scope,
sight
10 power
picture on
scope.
that
And
one?
he was slow firing. Yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean,
yeah,
that
anybody
range
can
you
be a
could throw the
sniper.
bullets and score those hits.
I was right. I was gonna say anybody can be a sniper at 25 meters with a what is it, a 10 power scope.
Well, except Rick, he'll still be looking for his in the grass. If you know, you know.
Oh my God.
And Jay Supp will still be in the car trying to get his stuff to work.
Oh,
We had fun that day.
that was a good day.
Well, except for when we went walking up the hill at 103 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. But it was just a good day for me. I mean, like it had been so, Joe, I hadn't been shooting for years, like civilian shooting. So it's just.
And I even forgave you for shooting that abomination that you were shooting.
Oh, the
your
5.56 AK.
Gotta
love it. Gotta love it.
So Matt told us beforehand, you guys should take the side by side down. We get back up there. Long story short, Matt, we should have taken the side by side down.
Well, what's funny, Joe, is we took the kind of ambling way down because like we didn't go straight down the road. We went,
yeah.
But then like we just came right back up the hill,
yeah, we should have went the other way up.
This is where we fucked up. All right.
It would have been less steep and more shade.
And if you didn't hear it, Mexico now has a target on its back too, officially.
Nice.
Alpha Charlie concept. I see. I'm with you, brother.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country, but the cartels are running and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You lose a child or a parent. I mean, parents are dying too with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that when anybody could just walk into your country.
The border's ostensibly really closed now.
Closed. You can't come in. And nobody comes. Nobody even tries.
That sounds a little optimistic, but I will accept that there is a vast reduction in cross-border traffic coming in now.
Yeah. Massive reduction.
Well, and then Joe, another thing that they've continued to do that was such a big story in the first administration, but now it's just they picked up and just kept working on it, was the wall. So the wall is going in at a pretty good clip from what I've been seeing, which is the fact that anybody had to like talk about putting a wall up like that. It's unbelievable that anybody had to even consider that as something that you would do. If anybody needs a PSA AK-104, which one is that? The 104, is that the 7.62 with the shorter barrel?
Yeah.
All right. So no details on that. My guess is we're going to start seeing drones circling cartel operations down there in Mexico, and we'll just start seeing things, explode randomly. Joe, I'd love to see.
We don't know why the man's house blew up. It just blew up. Must have been a gas leak.
I'd love to see the return to the flying Ginsu knife with some of these cartel guys.
Yeah.
Well, no. The what is it? The Hellfire round where the basically the knife blades. It doesn't explode. It's just like the.
But the Lancet drone does the exact same thing. So
yeah, that's the newer, cheaper version of the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought the Lancet was the Russian one.
Is it?
No.
I don't know. I feel like I'm confused. Yeah, Russian loitering munition, but it looks the same though, Joe. It's got the like the wings are like an X shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's go on to Syria here. Because what's a day without? By the way, this is a conflict in the middle of a surrounded Kurdish neighborhood in Aleppo, and when you're armed, this is what you can do if the government decides to infringe upon your rights. You can fight back. And while I don't know that this is going to end well for the civilians in that area, based on the video I've been seeing, I think it's absolutely the right thing for them to do to defend themselves. What's Aleppo?
Wow.
So that was a lot of gunfire. All right. So this is Syrian army versus, and so they're fighting the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, but also the YPJ. Here are some of the Kurdish fighters who were captured, both women. So no respecter of sex when it comes to if you're fighting, you're fighting.
Women are powerful and amazing. How come they didn't kill all those men?
Well, they did some. So I got no issue with these female fighters on the Kurdish side. They kind of like that was always a thing during the war.
They've always been pretty legit, ISIS. But I was just making fun of the American left. That's all.
No, you're totally right, Joe. But the sad thing is what ended up happening to a lot of these women fighters. They got captured both by ISIS and the SDF forces.
And nothing good happens. Nothing good comes of that, right?
Well, it's not just the stuff they do before they die. It's the things that they did to some of their bodies and things like this. It was really ugly. Needless to say, the training that the Kurdish women fighters got, I guess they go into it with their eyes open, but I don't know if maybe there's some sort of romantic idea.
I'll say this: it confirms my belief that if you are fighting ideological foes, not just like another nation state, but someone like Allah's boys or the American left, for example, you cannot surrender and trust to their goodwill.
Ever.
Yeah, 100%.
It reminds me of the Code of Conduct of the United States Armed Forces. I am an American fighting man. I will never surrender of my own free will. Remember that back in the day? Do they still teach that?
Yeah, Code of Conduct.
Yeah, all right.
Because that's what it kind of goes to. If I am captured, I would do everything in my power to resist. I can't remember all of it, but yeah. Let's see this next one. The sky of Latakia and Aleppo highway is lit right now. No mercy for Iranian-backed terrorists that change the state writ and kill state soldiers. So basically, this is pro-regime folks who are now. That's not what you'd call aimed fire.
That's a lot of tracers going absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere, exactly right.
This sounds like a really good waste of ammunition.
Like, I mean,
what in the hell are they
he's spraying back and forth?
I'm not seeing anything coming at them. Everybody's standing right up. Nobody's taking rounds.
There's a giant wall right there. Yeah, there was a Hilux there with a Dushka in the back, it looked like. So
as they normally are, right? They're just
as they are wont to do. Yes. We have troubles getting 7.62 by 39, and look at all of it. They were just wasting. Just
I wonder why we're having trouble.
What if we make the
it's 'cause
beaten
they keep
zone
shooting
the
them.
whole horizon?
Oh boy. So
Look
anyway,
around for more of a to whom it may concern rather than a dear sir.
yeah, right. Yeah, this is the name of this bullet is to whom it may concern. So we didn't even talk about hold on a second before we play this next one, Watcher. We didn't even talk about the lady who got hit in the head with the explosive device. We didn't talk about what was there? Some stuff going on in America we didn't mention. That's big news now too.
You talking about the second ICE shooting, or?
Well, no, we talked about the ICE shooting. I'm just kind of going through
the second ICE shooting. There was another.
The second ICE shooting where the two Tren de Aragua people,
correct,
I guess, were
correct.
And both of them were connected to the gang, right?
They were not just connected to the gang; they were being arrested for being the heads of a human trafficking operation. We will just put it that way. A rather the nastiest side of the human trafficking operation. They were both allegedly the heads of it, man and a woman. They were being arrested. They tried to run over the ICE agents that were arresting them, and they got shot.
Shame.
Statement that's been released by the DHS on the Portland, Oregon shooting. This is the one you were just talking about.
They're going to make them into heroes too, right?
What's that?
Yes. Yeah, they're trying. They've already tried to make them into heroes. Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, the department. This is the DHS state. When agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants, the driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. And the law enforcement agent did exactly what he should do.
This falls into under the cover of shame. Anyway.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of things that there's this whole like fantasy idea that leftists have in their mind of who they are in the tale, right?
Yeah.
And this little animation, I think, goes a long way to explain to people who they think they are in the story.
Victimizers beware. The racist and bigots' greatest nightmare. Social justice warrior. It's the bias response team. If you've been offended, your feelings must be defended. Freedom of expression is a microaggression. Here comes Angela Freddy. He's always ready to fight fascism with fascism.
Fascism with fascism.
Using the powers of screaming and shame, they win every debate by calling your names.
They're all white, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was funny. I thought I would share that. It gave me a chuckle at work. I guess there's some news that come out. All right, before we talk about that, that's Iran focus. Joe, you want to talk a little bit about tactical gas? You got your class today. How's the snow look?
There's a live studio audience right there. But yeah, we have a bunch of guys here for class and another guy arriving later on today for winter field craft, where we're going to get out and do some snowshoeing and building some fighting positions out in the snow. That's going on this weekend. And then just a couple days after that, some of these guys are staying for it. We have K's Ground Rod 1. Listen, there's still an opportunity for you guys to get registered for K's classes here. Ground Rod 1 on the 15th and 16th of January is learning about digital privacy and securing your communications. And then after that, the 17th and 18th, next weekend, big opportunity. Gunfight Concepts pistol. I know that Hunch in the chat and probably Be Prepared and one or two others have taken that course before. Fantastic pistol course. You're learning from a guy who is a former serious cool guy, right? Ground Branch as well as Green Beret. He's a pretty solid guy, and he knows his thing. So get on there and get registered for that. And then the weekend after that, I've got another combatives class where you can learn to defend yourself for all with nothing up through bayonets and everything like that. A lot of cool stuff that you can learn. Get out and train. Time is getting short. Things are getting worse. You need to get out and train and do things. While you're at it, buy a couple of books. Support Camp Ponderosa by checking out the camp's wish list and check it out.
Yeah, man, that's one that I'd love to be able to go to, the ground rod class. I think that's a.
And Rowan, I'm going to put that in the brief for this morning. Thank you. That's a great point. The first person that says you want to build a snowman gets bayoneted. I got to find this picture. There was a tree. Yogi and I went out and actually talked to some of the local loggers yesterday up in the mountains. If you've never watched a modern logging operation, it's just cool. They do sweet stuff. But anyway, we're up there, and I took a picture of a tree that looks like an old musket with a bayonet attached. And I'm going to send it to Watcher. Maybe we'll show it on here. It's very cool.
All right. Anything? Oh shit! I forgot to do a brush beater thing when the YouTube thing.
Wing it. You can wing it.
Yeah. So as always, brush beater supporting the channel. Brushbeater.store/optics. The MDO is the one that I want to get my hands on first when I get back. But I think the LPVO is on my list as well. And when I finally pull the trigger on night vision, it'll be probably dual tubes through Matt because the price is, you just can't beat his prices. You can't beat the quality of the Kyber optics stuff. And let's be honest. If you want to deal with somebody who shares your values, trust me. If you are a fan of this channel, Matt shares your values, and he is a reputable businessman to boot. So definitely check it out. Code CFC10 for 5% off all orders. If you any order over $100, ships for free. If you get classes from him, the code works for that too. So. Helps him know where you find out about it from. So we appreciate your using the code when you buy stuff from him. All right.
I'm always amazed when I print out the course of instruction and realizing how small it is versus how long it took me to write it.
Right. That's funny. All right. Let me. So there was a. Where'd it go?
Hold on. Apparently, I have a picture to share. Hold on.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, does that tree not look like an old school musket with a bayonet attached?
It does. It absolutely does. With a little socket bayonet.
Yeah. Yogi's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's a bayonet thing. You wouldn't understand."
You wouldn't get it.
All right. So we're going to talk about Iran today. A lot going on in Iran, and I think a lot of lessons to be learned from this as well. One of the ones that I found interesting was this kind of news. So you could just kind of start showing the first video, and as I kind of read this here, U.S. intelligence said Iran protests weren't strong enough to threaten regime. Now they're reassessing. Of course, they're reassessing because it's definitely strong enough to
because the regime is getting its teeth kicked in.
It's literally unable to field its army. Let's see. The U.S. intelligence assessed Iran protests lacked sufficient energy to challenge regime stability, as officials told Axios. That assessment is now being revised in light of events. Recent events, 100-plus cities are protesting. Protesters are breaking the Ayatollah's compound gates. So the actual Ayatollah's compound is being broken into. IRGC shooting people after prayers, total internet blackout, competing massacre claims. So U.S. intelligence watched protests spread nationwide, monitored escalation to anti-regime chants, and concluded not threatening. Then something happened that made them reconsider. What changed? We don't know, but reassessment itself reveals the U.S. wasn't expecting this escalation. Could be violence preceded expectations. Let's see, exceeded predictions. Security forces showing cracks, protesters attacking religious authority structures, cross thresholds, analysis didn't anticipate it, or classified intelligence suggesting the regime is more fragile than visible evidence shows. U.S. intelligence getting Iran wrong wouldn't be unprecedented. They missed the 1979 revolution until it happened. The reassessment tells us whatever's happening behind Iran's blackout is significant enough that the U.S. analysts are revising their stability models. So I think the interesting thing here, Joe, is that it's probably a lot of things combined, and this is just literally the sweet spot about when this kind of because the dissatisfaction amongst people living in a totalitarian regime. It doesn't surprise me, right? These people are dissatisfied. They've been dissatisfied for a long time. The economics worked in their favor because, then you had all of the 12-day war where Israel basically kicked in Iran's teeth, literally owned them in their the IRGC headquarters. They bombed the IRGC headquarters. Remember we showed that video of the bombs basically destroying the underground bunkers. So maybe it's just a combination of everything. What do you think, Joe?
I think that's just pent up frustration. Most people in a place like Iran are going to sit in their house while others protest. But once they saw that this was getting traction and that there wasn't a lot of pushback by the regime in the beginning, it grew legs, and it's gotten way out of control. So I think that the people finally decided that, hey, it might actually be safe, and this might actually be our moment. I don't know that it's going to be successful because Iran still has some cards to play, like gas and machine guns. So they're not afraid of gassing their own people.
100%. They will kill them by the bucket loads. All right, let me look at this video here. So what you're seeing here, so we don't have the audio on, but there's a guy talking over this, and so Islamic terrorists have shut down the internet and are murdering Iranians right now.
I can play.
Okay, so this is the see if he says it in English or if it's in Farsi.
Here is Mashhad City. Ayatollah killed my people. Please help to my people. Please help to Reza Pahlavi. Come to Iran. Baby Netanyahu. Please come to Iran. Please help to Iranian people. Ayatollah killed my people. Please help.
One of the things that surprised me, Joe, was consistently in almost all these videos I'm seeing, Reza Pahlavi being, his name is being invoked. He is definitely a popular figure, at least a figurehead of resistance for these people. This is a guy climbing a statue in the middle of Tehran and placing the old flag up on this statue. This is the kind of thing that gets people shot.
I was going to say
during a
that
lot of these.
in that regime, that will get you shot. Like even possessing that flag.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to comment about that guy's yelling. They're very excitable people. Very excitable people.
Persons are a passionate people, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is going back to the flag one here. I'm just reading the. This is in Iran. Protesters were placing flags all over the country tonight as the mullah regime is probably packing its bag for Moscow. Yeah, all indications are heading to Moscow. This is something that I've been interested in since the beginning of this, and it's just been kind of like what's going on here. They have a whole BBC Persia service, right? Like it's literally the BBC in Persian, right? The BBC is refusing to show a single second of the Iranian Revolution happening in the streets. They are not showing any of the actual street footage. Right now should tell you everything you didn't know. They love the mullahs at the BBC. Just kind of a England related note. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the UAE has cut all funding to sending their students from the UAE to schools in England. And get this, Joe, they are worried that they will be radicalized by radical Islam in the UK.
Crazy, right?
I mean, when the UAE doesn't want to send its, sons and daughters to the UK for schooling, that should tell you something.
Yeah, and the problem doesn't go away when you replace the Ayatollahs with the Shah. As I've pointed out repeatedly, he is still also a Shia Muslim. So there is still the potential for Islamic extremism there, just not as bad as before. Everyone says pushes back to me saying, "Yeah, but when the Shah was in power, they were a secular nation." Yeah, that was Pahlavi 1. This is Pahlavi 2. Entirely different person. Might have an entirely different attitude.
I don't know enough about the man to be able to determine what kind of ruler he would be. And if he's smart, he will be the guy saying, "Oh, I don't want to be the ruler. It should be somebody else." Because nobody wants to be ruled by somebody who wants to be the ruler.
Yeah, but you don't go around calling yourself the king to give up power almost immediately.
Right.
That doesn't.
Let's be honest. This guy, if you had asked him a year ago, he probably had no real hope that he would ever be able to go back to Iran. Now, all of a sudden, he's being thrust right back into it. So, let's see. A lot of chants are saying "Long live the king, death to Khamenei." This is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. So that clearly the Iranian dissidents and the Iranian kind of protesters that are in the street seem to be a supporter of his. They want to, and it may be more they want the idea of what Iran used to be back. My question is, Joe, do we call it Persia once it becomes not Iran anymore?
It depends, though, because technically the Persians were a separate people sharing the area of Iran with some Arab peoples as well. So Persian is more of a race than a place, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Joe? What's the over/under? Does it stay together as a single country, or does it balkanize?
I think they will probably lose the Kurdish region to self-rule. I don't know about the Balochistanis down in the other corner.
I think they'll end up with something similar to what you have in Iraq. Where the Kurds have basically an autonomous region.
Zone, yeah.
Hey, gents, there's a new angle that just dropped on the. I don't know if we want to cover it or not, but there's a brand new angle from directly across the street that just dropped on the Minnesota shooting.
Yeah, let's see it.
So it's a CNN clip. I'm not going to play what they're talking because what they're saying literally counters what's on the video. But if you look, the officer didn't even put himself in front of the vehicle. When she backs up, it places him in front of the vehicle.
Yeah. It's like it aimed the vehicle at him when she did that.
Let's see.
So there he is right there in front of the vehicle, and then she
And
does
there he is
it.
getting hit.
by the vehicle.
Yeah.
Ironically, her
Wait, hold on,
driving
slow
became
down.
much better when she was dead.
So she literally pointed the car at him and then floored it. Yeah.
And I get it. In her mind, she was probably trying to get away, but she was willing to hit him in her attempt to get away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that the woman intended for him to die. She probably wouldn't have a problem with him dying, but I don't think that was. But I'll be honest with you. I think it was her intention to do exactly what she did, if that makes any sense, right? Him being in the way is just incidental to her getting out of it.
Well, she wanted to be a leftist hero.
She is definitely that.
Wish granted.
Wish granted. Enjoy your time with Che Guevara and
yeah, she hanging with Che now.
Marxist heaven.
I hadn't thought about that yet, but that's beautiful.
AKA Joe, the burning pools of hell. All right.
Che was like, I didn't see it coming either. Crazy.
See, protests in Iran are intensifying, gaining momentum. You got the burning. This is still that one with the 4 videos on it, right?
No, I went through that. That was all just people marching on the streets. So I went through that while you guys were talking. There's literally nothing but it's just people filming themselves marching down a street. I'm
in the one that starts fire. Protests have set ablaze Islamic. I think maybe it's the same one.
Yeah, there is. So there's one that had a little bit of a fire in the street, and yeah, I showed that a couple times.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're on the one before me. I skipped this one that you're. Let me open this one, and then we'll do the next one.
You're good. The other one I think we've shown before.
All right. So the first one you were showing where they're kind of going down the street and the building is on fire. That one right there. Protesters have set ablaze the Islamic Republic of Iran broadcasting complex in Bustan, Syed Boulevard in central Iranian city of Isfahan. So this is, they're going after regime facilities. And then you've got burning street cars in the streets. While in recent days, most of the active protests centered were in Iran's western Kurdish provinces and northern cities populated by ethnic Azerbaijanis. Today, the major protest hubs have emerged in Persian majority cities, and most critically in the capital of Tehran, where the situation increasingly resembles a front line with widespread unrest and massive crowds of demonstrations. At the same time, in an effort to suppress the protests, Iranian authorities have escalated their response. Internet access has been fully shut down nationwide, and regular military units of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps have been deployed against the protesters, with orders to restore control by any means necessary. In short, Iran's protest movement appears to be entering a particularly difficult phase, and the situation in the country is likely to deteriorate. I'll be honest with you. I'll give you my prediction going into the weekend. I think we hit Iran. Somebody hits Iran in some form in the next 48 hours.
Give them that nudge over the edge, right? I was just looking at this video and thinking that there's an awful lot of electricity still on. If I really wanted to shut this down, I would turn off the lights.
Yeah.
Or if I really wanted to push this over the edge from an external standpoint, I'd shut off the lights.
Well, we've had assets in place since the 6th, and we issued a bunch of NOTAMs over the country yesterday. So...
Over Iran?
Yeah.
Let's see. This next one is interesting. Look who they're using to spread propaganda. So go ahead and play this video. I think they're speaking in English.
On Islamic Republic's TV, they're airing live stream. Show that.
Cucker Tarleson.
They're translating it in real time in Persian.
Cucker Tarleson. They're literally using him on Iranian state TV. That's how much of a propaganda piece he's become. This is poetic.
Guys, so when I tell you that Tucker Carlson is Islamic regime propaganda, look at this. The Islamic Republic is now taking, right? They're taking They're literally taking his garbage interviews and they're translating it because this is propaganda.
Interesting.
I mean, you can't argue with success, I guess. You know, Tucker is definitely reaching a new audience. Fires burning the streets. Let's see here. As crowds of protesters surge in the Iranian capital of Tehran. You got to turn your head sideways to
I
see what it
I
is.
hate this. I hate this so much. Ugh, giving me a headache.
All right, next one. All right, so this next one. So, if we were going to get in trouble with YouTube, previously, the next few videos might get us in trouble. Breaking massacre in Iran. Witnesses say 50-plus anti-regime protesters were shot dead. The shooting started after the Islamic regime security forces brought in a machine gun mounted on a Toyota in Farda City. And
Or
then,
as
so
we
this
call
is
it, fun.
This is a transcript here. Omid, horrific deaths in Fardis. According to police station 11 in Fardis, they brought in a Toyota with a machine gun mounted on it. They opened fire on everyone with heavy weapons. I didn't take my phone to film it, but I have Starlink. If anyone has video, I'll send it to you. Are you sure? Did you see it yourself? When the internet connects, the video will come through. It goes on to the next one. How many people were killed in Fars? Don't doubt it. Over 50 people. Biafran's hospital morgue is full right now. If you can, check the stats yourself so you don't have any doubt. So the next one is actual. Let's see. I think we got. This is the one where they're like, it's a blurred video, but these are actual bodies at the hospital. It looks like. So they opened fire on anti-regime protesters in Fardis. Dozens of people reported to have been murdered. Let's see. Just looking to see if there's any. Let's see. The English subtitles are look what people have done to the people. They say the date and 10 people were killed. Damn them, the regime. They've killed the people. They shot them with live ammunition. They shot and killed people with live ammunition. Someone's daughter has been killed. So it's it's tough, like you don't want to see that kind of thing, but at the same time, when you have this kind of see, Joe, this is the price that comes with fighting against an authoritarian regime, especially when you don't have weapons. And
and I would rather see, as much as war is bad, I would much rather see people in a country like this rising up against a government that's been keeping them down than give them daycares to run in Minneapolis. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Self-determination is something we used to stand for and used to support. Not, just come here and we'll let you live for free, instead of, fighting and making your own country a better place.
Watcher, we've got some breaking news. I'm putting the links in the private chat. We can just get to it at the end of the show.
Okay.
We've got some footage, Joe, of so this next one, I'm gonna put this link in the private chat. So this is the second one. You see the Southcom link?
Yeah, that's the one for the
Clash
end.
reports. Look at the Clash reports. Open that one up. So this is Iranian state TV claims the footage shows armed protesters firing at security forces in Kermanshah. So this is what we were talking about on Wednesday. This is the Kurdish area, and I have no doubt that they were fighting street battles like this.
Look at that masterful CQB footwork. The hop, skip, and a jump has always been a great tactical move with a weapon in your hand. Look at him go.
Well, you know how it is, Joe. If it doesn't matter if it looks cool, if it works.
Well, I would take off those baggy pants.
So anyway, I think this is real footage, but I think it's a bullshit story. Like, oh, look at them attacking the people. All right, back to the anti-regime protesters take over. Let's see. Anti-regime protesters take over Iran's key port city of Bandar Abbas. Thousands of anti-regime protesters have taken full control of the streets in Bandar Abbas. That is take that with a grain of salt. Full control. One of Iran's most strategic port city on the Persian Gulf. I would go so far as to say it is the strategic port city on the Persian Gulf, but that's just me being biased. The Bandar Abbas is critical for Iran's economy and oil exports, and now it's in the hands of furious civilians. The regime is losing grip. The movement is spreading fast from Kurdish cities to key economic zones in the south. If they lose Bandar Abbas, they lose a lifeline, and the regime change could be really close. Yeah, I think regime could be really close, but it has less to do with just this, but more to do with the fact that like these protests are getting bigger and spreading wider, not contracting.
It's beautiful to see the guys in the Rumble chat quoting me from class. This is absolutely beautiful. Those guys were violating those rules. Rule number 1 is to always look cool. Rule number 2 is to always look like you know what you're doing. And rule number 3 is if you don't know what you're doing, look cool. Those guys did none of those things.
All right. So this next one is interesting. So the Kurds are definitely up in arms. And so here's the thing. The Kurds have got two things to be excited about all at the same time. They've got the fighting in Aleppo and the Kurdish FDF. Well, it's not entirely Kurdish, but it's, the Kurds are a big part of the SDF fighting for their lives up in Aleppo. And then at the same time, you've got the Kurds up in arms in northwestern Iran. So these are Kurds in Turkey taking to the streets and marching in support of, the kind of the broader Kurdish, diaspora or whatever. I would not want to be a Kurd in Turkey.
No.
It's almost
I wouldn't
like
want to be anybody in
Kurdistan was this large area, large swath of territory across all those countries. Weird.
Well, Joe, I think to this day, I think that Kurdistan is probably the largest country without a state. Like a state without a country, or people without a of any in the world. I would say right now, but. Let's see. We got here. This is from Vicegrad 24. Breaking the Islamic regime security forces have been forced to retreat in the country's second largest city of Mashhad. I had heard Mashhad had fallen entirely to the protesters, so maybe this could be a reference to that. And now they only protect a few government buildings, but can't do anything about the protesters setting fire to police cars in the city center. Commonly's DMs are open, by the way. At least on his X account. All right. POTUS on Iran. So this is what Trump had to say about this.
Are you following the protesting that is taking place all over the country of Iran?
Yeah,
now?
I'm following it very
And
closely.
have you read that the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has a plan B to go to Russia?
Or someplace, he's looking to go someplace.
Do you believe that Iran? Do you think the country is on the verge of collapsing?
Well, it could be. I mean, what they've done is in the past, they've started shooting the hell out of people, and all of a sudden people without any weapons whatsoever are standing there and you have machine guns gunning them down, or they take them to prisons and then hang them and kill them. So they played rough, and I said, if they do that, we're going to hit them very hard. Well, we're going to hit them hard. We're ready to do it. If they do that, we're going to hit them hard. And so far, for the most part, there's been some of it, but for the most part, they haven't. There have been people killed. Some of them, the crowds are so big that some of them have had really, like, were stomped on. Literally, it was terrible. The crowds are just, they're massive. The enthusiasm to overturn that regime is incredible. But there's been people killed, but it's more from death by, it's literally stomping. It's people running in a certain direction. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens over there. They know, though, that it's a stampede is, I guess, the best word. They have like a stampede. You talk about stampede for cattle, but the people are stampeding, and you're losing a lot of people with the stampedes. There's so many people protesting. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening right now. But I have put Iran on notice that if they start shooting at them, these people are totally unarmed people. And they love their country. They want something to happen. Look at their country. They've gone back 150 years. But I've told them that if they do anything bad to these people, we're going to hit them very hard.
So Khomeini just issued a statement 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've got.
Hold on. Let me say something even more surprising than that. That's the first clip I have ever seen in my life of Sean Hannity where he didn't say, "Did you know I do MMA?"
All right. Come on, Joe. He only says that in half the clips that he's in. I don't know. That's somebody I have not missed at all with Sean Hannity.
I know. Right?
I don't ever see it anymore.
Pointed out that the Iranians have identified the person responsible for starting these protests, Samil El Haid, and he just can't keep getting away with this. He just can't.
All right. Let's see. So the next one is, I believe the next one is the. This is this is in Mershar. These are Iranian nation won't stop the youth in Mershar send a clear message to the Islamic regime tonight. So they're in the streets. They're being active against the security forces. And they are not armed. Talk about gutsy.
Right. Well, that is an interesting statement, Watcher, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Fuck you.
I thought it fitted quite well with the.
Sounds like he wants to fight.
It does, Scott. So this is what Khomeini said 40 minutes ago. It's not in the notes because it wasn't available when you were making the notes.
All right, let's look. U.S. president who judges arrogantly about the world should know that tyrants and arrogant rulers of the world, such as Pharaoh, Nimrod, Mohammed Reza Pahlavi, and others, such rulers saw their downfall when they were at the peak of their hubris. He too will fall.
And a new one just 12 minutes ago.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the motherful.
Oh, sorry, that's his pinned one.
Oh, the God willing, that God will bring the feeling of victory to the hearts of all the Iranian people very soon. You mean when he leaves with all the gold to Russia?
I don't know. Those sound to me like he's about to kill a whole lot of people.
That's exactly what all this sounds like to me. And he's tweeting like he's tweeting like a schizo.
So, yeah, if you go down to the last one on the second page, that's this is a live. This was this was from Iranian TV. Not this one. The next one down on the list.
It takes me a minute to get through them.
I have no idea what he's saying. Speaking to the nation live. Everybody should know the Islamic Republic. Let's see. I guess he said this is what he said. Everyone should know the Islamic Republic has come to power through the blood of hundreds and thousands of noble human beings. The Islamic Republic will not back down in the face of those who are destroyers. And basically, he's talking about the blood of hundreds of thousands of people he's willing to spill in order to get back into power. So I'll be honest with you. I think if he goes really hard in the paint against these protesters, I think the Americans and probably the Israelis as well will step in. Probably just with the air support, but that might be enough. Let's see. Here's another statement from Khamenei. Iran rejects foreign mercenaries. Trump will be overthrown at the peak of pride like past tyrant. Our nation does not tolerate mercenarianism for foreigners. Wherever you may be, once you become a mercenary for a foreigner, once you work for a foreigner, the nation considers you rejected. As for the fellow Trump who sits there with arrogance and pride, passing judgment on the whole world, he should know that usually the despot. Okay, so this is the same thing that was in the text.
I just, it'd be great if they got him while he was on live TV. That's all I'm going to say.
For the Iranian people, if you break through the internet blockade, the IRGC and the Basij don't want you to know this, but you can just do things like take their rifles and use them. I'm just
correct.
Those rifles are free. They're there for you to take. You paid for them.
So, Joe, so I heard this. This is one of those internet rumors, right? Like there are large numbers of Christian conversions going on inside Iran because a lot of people had, there are underground churches and things like this, and so there is a Christian spark to some of these protests, which I found interesting. I think it's completely. I don't think it's very widespread.
I think it's disingenuous. I think it's a way to try to get more American.
Right. It's more of an emotional heartstring that I think. So this is a message sent to him from a Iranian Christian. So let's listen to what this guy's got to say.
I got early this morning, but this was written to me early this morning. Why at our house church here in southern Iran, brothers asked me to write you to beg the church in the West to pray for Iran. For all of us who are hostages of this Islamic Republic, Ayatollahs and their regime. While $100 equals 7 million toman, that's their money. And the morality police is back to beating us to death for not keeping Islamic rules and laws. We worked a month for only $100. Everybody are hungry and mentally unstable at this point. Because of sanctions, there is no medicine for us. For years, we are shouting for help, but no one comes. Islamic Republic is not Iran. Please tell the church in the West, Islamic Republic is not Iran. Last night, everybody here, pray Israel, be safe. We prayed for hours, and we hear none die. And we were happy of this. But dear brother, we were happy about the attack because this might be the beginning of our nation being invaded by Israel and the U.S. in order to save us. We pray, U.S. and our Jewish brothers, the Israelites that we love, come set us free. Sorry.
All right.
And let the history know that we Iranians are the only people who want to be invaded by the West to free us from this Islamic devil. Beg the church to pray for innocent people of Iran because we are under attack by these demons for more than 47 years now. The rate of suicide is the highest it has ever been. If we will be wise enough not to kill ourselves, we may end up just dying in prison for not obeying this Islamic Republic or for knowing our great Jewish King Jesus. He is our God. Please ask them to pray.
All right.
This is all ridiculous.
Thank you.
I mean,
But Hunch sums it up right here.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Then go if you really are a church in Iran and not some dude looking for money, because you mentioned medicines and money, so that always means money. Then actually follow Christian tradition. Stand up on your own 2 feet and fight. And let me just say this: if your pastor dresses like that and cries, go to a real church. Go to an actual Christian church. Okay.
Yeah.
And the irony of wearing a military-style jacket and crying like a little girl at a letter, right?
Joe, I'm glad it's you saying it, not me, because I don't want to sound like too much of an asshole. But yes, thank you.
No, I'm perfectly okay with it because I am an absolute purist when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? That's not the Christian way. None of what happened there on that stage was the Christian way. So,
and to you Christians in Iran waiting for America to come save you, God helps those who helps themselves.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he didn't go read the story of Gideon in Judges 6. He said, okay, you're being oppressed by government. Fix it. Go fight them. I'll help you, but you got to do the work.
Well, and and if this guy is one of the people in the streets, then good. He's doing the right thing, right? And he's worried. Okay, got it. But still, you don't rely on somebody else to come free you.
The Christian experience in this particular circumstance, being oppressed, is summed up in Judges 6:14 when Gideon says to God, "Yeah, but why did you let this happen to us?" And God said, "Am I not sending you right now? You're there, dude. Do it.
Yeah,
make it happen."
All right, this last one here is there's information spreading that due to unstable situation created by the powerful protest momentum, large batches of gold are being taken out of Iran by Russian cargo planes. Let's see. A member of the British Parliament and former security minister stated in a speech to the House of Commons that according to British intelligence, Russian cargo planes are landing in Tehran carrying large batches of gold out of Iran. You know, Joe, this is the Ayatollah paying his ticket, and you don't get on the plane until we've got the gold in our possession.
It is landing a little heavy, maybe. I'm always amazed that some of these cargo planes can actually get off the ground.
I know, right? Especially the Russian ones. Let me be honest with you. We love our Russian guns and things like that, but I don't want the AK-47 simplicity in a long-range jet cargo aircraft.
We'll point out that the AN-126, the largest one they have, was burned on the ground at Kiev and never actually made it into the air.
Yeah, I think it made it in the air, but it was under maintenance, heavy maintenance or whatever when it was being, because it hadn't flown in a couple of years, I guess.
Yeah.
What's funny is I think that they actually flew that into Bagram at one point, doing cargo missions in support of ISAF, flying that thing. AN2 tech team is being pedantic in the chat and is correcting you. AN225. Thank you very much.
All right, whatever. And listen though, Kaiser John, I like the Candid. It's not a bad plane.
They don't want another Islamic militant. As long as he brings the gold, they'll take anybody, I'm sure. But he doesn't get to keep the gold. He turns that over. All right, so we do have some breaking news. If you'll go to that Southcom, the one in the private chat there, Watcher. All right. So once again, this is U.S. Southern Command on X. Once again, our joint interagency forces sent a clear message this morning. There will be no safe haven for criminals. In a pre-dawn action, Marines and sailors from Joint Task Force Southern Sphere in support of the Department of Homeland Security launched from the Gerald R. Ford apprehended motor tanker Olena in the Caribbean Sea without incident. Apprehensions like this are backed up by the full power of the United States Navy's Amphibious Ready Group, including the ready and lethal platforms of the Iwo Jima, San Antonio, and the Fort Lauderdale. The Department of War's Operation Southern Spear is unwavering in its mission to defend our homeland by ending illicit activity and restoring security in the Western Hemisphere. Joe, there's your Marines in action, I'd say.
Right there. VBSS. That's a shame. That was a nice boat, too. Oh, well. I want to know what this guy does right here. I think he was probably putting up a radio beacon, but.
Well, I was wondering if you had maybe setting up an either a SATCOM antenna or something like that.
A tracking beacon for the ship, I guess.
Always cool to see. So here's the interesting thing here for me, Joe, is how quickly they got this video out onto the internet. I think this is exactly what the DoD needs to be doing, is getting this stuff out very quickly.
There's a great joke to be made here. There's two options. One, they're on white hot and our guys are stone cold operators. That's why they appear black in here. Or two, they're so hot that they're the blackest thing on here.
I got to go with the smokestack is black, so they're doing black hot.
There you go with logic. It was a joke. Oh, gosh, man.
All right.
No, Karen, no, that was not the empty ship. We have the empty ship already. We took it yesterday.
In a little bit of local news that I'm surprised we haven't covered, y'all saw that they made another autonomous zone, right?
Well, they may have illegal aliens inside there, so Border Patrol better go in and check it out.
I thoroughly agree. This needs to be broken up immediately, but it's not being.
See, I feel the same way about that sign. It says, "Rest in peace, Renee. Good." I would just put a comma in there. Rest in peace, Renee. Good. I know.
This is for you, Joe.
Che chiaramente questo racconto continuo che io questo racconto continuo che io ascolto, la Meloni, le distanze, prenda, dica, non ho capito che cosa si sta chiedendo quando si dice che l'Italia deve prendere le distanze dagli Stati Uniti, perché questa è geopolitica, non sono comitive, è geopolitica. Nella geopolitica, quando si prendono delle posizioni, si è conseguenti, ok? Allora, io penso che la politica estera italiana sia quella che il presidente Mattarella ci ha ricordato qualche giorno fa, dicendo che le direttrici della nostra politica estera sono l'Unione Europea e l'Alleanza Atlantica. E quindi che cosa faccio? Cerco le luci piuttosto che le ombre nel mio rapporto, nel rapporto italiano con i suoi partner europei e atlantici, perché a noi conviene rafforzare questo ambito che è il nostro ambito di appartenenza. È sbagliata questa strategia? Allora mi si deve formalizzare l'alternativa, mi si deve dire quindi che cosa si intende fare, cioè dobbiamo prendere distanze nel senso che dobbiamo uscire dalla NATO, dobbiamo chiudere le basi americane, dobbiamo rompere i rapporti commerciali, dobbiamo assaltare i McDonald's, non lo so. Che dobbiamo fare? Che dobbiamo fare? Altrimenti, chiaramente, io certo che non sono d'accordo con tutti su Trump, sono stato d'accordo su Venezuela, non sono stato d'accordo sulla Groenlandia.
You know, I mean, so bottom line, she's getting the point. If you didn't read the stern Italian noises, if you didn't read the subtitles, basically the bottom line is if we don't have a seat at the table, then we're not going to have a voice in what ends up happening. No kidding. This is a woman who spews common sense like it's going out of fashion, Joe.
I know. And like she said, she goes, I'm trying to look for the light instead of the shadows and what they're offering me, but there isn't any, right? I mean, literally the EU is telling her to shut up and sit down. And she's like saying, I ain't finna do that, yo. I'm an Italian woman. You ever known an Italian woman to just sit down and shut up?
Yeah. Anyway, I thought I saw that, Joe, and I thought that you would appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for today. 1 hour and 50 minutes. We're right on the button here. Joe, what do you think this weekend? What do you think? Do we hit Iran or not this weekend?
Somebody does. I think it'll be a deniable strike, though. We'll either use a proxy or we'll just say, I don't know what happened.
Like the milk factory that blew up the other day?
Milk factory that blew up. That probably wasn't a milk factory.
Right. Well, evidently the reports were that it was an ammonia nitrate storage facility.
Yeah. Hunch, her kneeling quickly is a feature, not a bug. Just throwing that out there.
Here, Joe, I got another one for you. Here's another one of their legal observers. No, I guess it's not. It says in the community notes that it was just a vehicle ramming incident with a police officer versus an ICE officer. But well, people are just consistently stupid. Watcher, what do you think? What's your kind of?
I think we're going to see explosive riots all weekend.
Yes.
I think they've been working up to this for a couple days. I think that basically, look, there's a lot of people that have been saying over and over and over again, both in the chat here and in my comments on X, that, they're not going to riot over a white woman. You're missing it. You're missing it entirely. The paid activists are going to riot over the white woman until they get more of them killed, until more of those look a little more sympathetic so that they can get the middle to come out and cover. You're already seeing this one work on the fringes of the right, like the San Francisco style right, which, by the way, need to be bombed back into the Stone Age. Like that entire Bay Area is just, it's a loss. Write it off. Just bomb it. But essentially, like, all your little squishies are already going over to the left, and you're watching all the women we put in leadership do the exact same shit. Like, it's gonna get ugly. I don't think it's gonna be over, or that like you should black pill about it. No, it's bad, but you should be prepared for shit to get really nasty. Like, I if I were you, I would have gone out and got your large grocery supply for the month or more a couple days ago. Get prepared. Also, riot watches, lots of them.
Yeah. So here's the other thing too, right? I think that I think the only thing that will pull I think the only thing that'll pull the steam out of these protests will be the weather, if I'm honest. I think it would be a lot more easy if this was in the spring. That being said, these people are not committed protesters. They are psychopaths. They are violent psychopaths, and they just need a moment to be triggered into an act of violence that will threaten yours and any other other number of people's lives. So your point that that if you don't have a full, like, if you don't have your grocery kind of backed up in the old pantry, like the stockages would need to go a little higher in the pantry, if you ask me. Lance Corporal Veteran for $1 says, sounds like future hyper fixation law enforcement interactions for the current future is going to be an obsession with the left. Yeah. But that has really not been, especially with the ICE stuff, that's been the rule rather than the exception. Joe, I feel like I cut you off during your any other things that you think are coming. You got any thoughts about the domestic situation?
I think that we're going to see just absolute leftist craziness all weekend. And Watcher, if you do any streams, let me know. We'll be in and out with camp, but I'll be on it. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very interesting weekend.
And there, needless to say, there are several things that we will be monitoring over the weekend that could potentially cause us to do another live stream.
Yeah.
So
if Iran pops off, we'll probably do a council live stream.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I'm just watching all the every morning we've entered the every morning there is now a new blitz of leftist misinformation where they pick a new thing to be their topic of the day about the old story that they're going to change a lie that they told last time that got disproven yesterday and find a new way to twist it today.
Yeah.
It makes me literally sick, like physically sick. I'm so finished with these people.
Yeah, like I said, you can't think of them just as the neighbor who has a different political point of view. These are violent psychopaths.
Marlene Walls is not going to flee to China. He thinks he's got this thing beat. He's not going anywhere. So.
Yeah, I think
I don't think the left can let him leave either way. Like legitimately, I think the left wants him to get arrested. I think the broader left-wing coalition wants him to be arrested. Yeah. He's not that important to him now. They want him to hang because
then he becomes a martyr of someone they can say, "See, look what Trump is doing."
Correct. Yeah. Nobody's going to let that guy flee. He's going to get ripped out of that office like the rat he is. Whether that has good effect or bad effect, we'll see.
All right, guys, that's all I got. That's all I got. Thank you very much, Joe. I know you got a class to go take care of, so we'll let you get to it. Chat, we appreciate you guys being here. As always, sorry about the YouTube, thing starting late, but the fact that we got it going at all, and what did we get up to? 101 watching right now, so that's not bad. It is honestly a miracle. So I'm just happy to see it working. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell for notifications, let people know that you're getting some good stuff over here on the Council for Future Conflict. For all of my buddies here, chat, you guys were awesome. We'll be back on Monday or a supplemental stream potentially over the weekend if events require. Until then, stay safe.